Welcome to Rough Riders. I'm Jay, and in today's video we're going to be winterizing the Soul Dusk. Now we're going to focus on just the plumbing stuff today. There's a whole host of different things that we do. Remove the batteries, put the cover on, and all of that sort of stuff. We're not going to cover any of that today. So today we're just going to focus on what we need to do around the plumbing to get that ready for the freezing temperatures here in Colorado. So let's get started. So the first thing that I do when I go to winterize my trailer is I turn off the propane because I don't want the water heater to kick on while I'm trying to do all this winterization. So we're going to do that first. In the Dusk, the propane tanks are located behind the panel here. So we're just going to shut that off, and then we're going to close off any of the valves. So the next step that I would normally do is I would flush the combination black and gray tank. I did that on the return of my last camping trip. I knew that was the last camping trip of the season, so I went ahead and flushed it really good then. So I'm going to go ahead and bypass that and move to the next step, which is to start to drain the main freshwater tank. And for that, we're going to go inside and take a look at the plumbing. So let's go do that. Okay, so we're inside. To access the plumbing in the trailer, it's underneath the driver's side twin bed. So you need to pull the mattress and stuff out of the way, and then remove the board that gives you access to the plumbing. So let me give you a shot of that plumbing and kind of walk through how that plumbing flows. We'll talk about the valves and what we need to set, how we drain things, and all of that as we look at that plumbing. So this is the main compartment for all the plumbing. Here we have our freshwater tank, and this hose right here runs up into the fill. This one is your city water that runs down here. The line right here goes all the way to the back of the tank, and that's where the water starts from. So if we're pulling from the freshwater tank, it comes up this line right here, hits this valve, then it takes a turn to the right here. That valve right there is your main drain valve. Then that splits off, comes up here. You'll see that it comes into the pump right here, and then it comes out of the pump back over to here, and then it splits. There's another line that runs along the edge of the cabinet or the bed that runs into the bathroom area. It also splits off, comes up here to the cold water, the bottom one here, the white, runs over to the sink. It then also continues on over to here, where it makes another right turn, comes into the the water heater, comes out of the water heater, and then back into the red, and then runs across here to the sink that way, and then the red line also runs back over to the toilet. So that's generally how it flows. You'll see, so if we look at the valves, right, then so here's the main freshwater valve, there is the main drain valve, this right here is your winterization. It's pre-plumbed for winterization. Then we've got a couple of low point, they're not labeled this, but this is essentially what they are: hot water low point and freshwater low point. So those are kind of all your valves. And so what we're going to do then is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up this valve over here, the main valve, and drain the water. It's mostly drained because when I flushed the tank on my last camping trip, I used most of the water from the tank as part of that flush process. So it's mostly drained, so I won't have to do a whole lot of draining on this right now. So we're going to go ahead and open up that valve here. And if you look, when it's in line to the valve, that means it's open. When you cross it, that closes the valve. So then looking underneath the trailer, here's the main drain. And then if I come over here, you can sort of see, oh, sorry about the camera work here. I got my low point hot and low point cold. So next I'm going to open my low point drains just to make sure I've got any of that stuff out. I'm also going to go outside and hit the sprayer line as well, because I don't want to forget about that. I want to make sure that line is clear as well. The sprayer, I just pull off the little quick release valve. So it's just the head, and then there's a valve right behind it that'll allow me to drain that. So I also try and clear the lines out of the shower and the toilet of any water as well. Yes, this is going to put a little bit of water into the gray-black tank, but there's not a lot I can do about that for the toilet, but I can use my bucket when I do the shower head. So the next thing I'm going to do then is I want to make sure I got all the water out of the hot water heater. I'm going to go ahead and turn the hot water heater off because I forgot to do that earlier. But then there's a pressure release valve right here that I'm going to just kind of open up and let out any water that might need to drain. You can see there's, oh, you can't see it from the video, but there's just a little bit of water that's draining out right there. And so, you know, at this point, I've got everything drained that I could possibly drain using gravity and all of that. So it's at this point that some people will bring out an air compressor and hook that up to their city inlet line, city water inlet line. There's a little Schrader valve sort of thing you can screw on there and then hook that up to an air compressor, and you can blow out the lines. I don't have a an air compressor with me, a little pancake air compressor, but that would be kind of a step that you could do if you have all of that. If you do use a air compressor to blow out the lines, make sure you have at least one valve open somewhere, because you don't want to pressure up the line without some place for that to go. And then you don't want to use a ton of pressure, probably no more than like 20 psi in order to blow out the line, because these are really small lines and you don't want to damage the plumbing. So keep the pressure really, really low. Just blow that. You hook up that Schrader valve, set your compressor to say 20 psi, and then turn on the faucet, turn on the shower, turn on the hit the toilet and all that kind of stuff, and that will help blow out any of the water that's remaining left in the lines. Okay, to set this up then to put the antifreeze throughout your line, first you want to use the pink non-toxic potable water safe antifreeze stuff. Prestone makes it. Z-Col I think is what this stuff is. I got a little bit of both. So you're going to use that. You're going to open the valve right here, which is your winterization tube, and you're going to just feed that into the bottle. You're going to make sure your main drain is closed, your low points are closed, and your main water line is closed. Once you have all of that set up, as I said, I already closed the pressure relief valve on the heater. Make sure all your faucets and stuff are closed as well. You don't have anything on because you're going to charge up that line with the antifreeze, and you'll see as soon as I turn that pump on, it's going to start sucking this stuff down and charging up the line. And then once the line's charged up, the pump will stop, and then now I can start to turn on each faucet and start sucking all that antifreeze through. Now, I think last time I did this, last year, I went through 2.5, maybe 3 bottles. So you're going to want to have plenty of that stuff handy. I think on the Intech video, it says you should use more, just a little over a gallon. That's not what I found, but let's see what it is this year when we do it. So let me go turn that pump on. Okay, so we've got all our valves set. Now we're going to have my wife turn on the pump, and we'll watch it start sucking all this stuff down as it charges up the line. There you can see it just starting to charge up all the line. And when it's lines are charged, the pump will stop. Okay, so now that it's stopped, now we can start to go to all the fixtures and turn them on one by one and watch that until we see pink come out. So we're going to go back outside. We're going to start with the outside sprayer first. I tend to work, I don't know that it matters what order you do it in, but I start with the farthest line away to me, and that's from the tank, and that's the sprayer. So we're going to go do that. Okay, so we're here at the outside sprayer, and we're just going to turn this on. So we see we got the pink coming, so we're good. So now we're going to close that off. And so now we know we have fluid all the way up to this valve. So now we're here at the sink, and we're going to do both hot and cold because we want to make sure both lines have fluid all the way through the line. So I'm going to start with the hot. Okay, we got a lot of pink coming. We're good there. Now we're going to go to the cold. Okay, we're good there. Now we're going to move to the shower head and the toilet. Do the toilet. And we want to leave some in the toilet bowl itself to help keep those seals wet. Next, we're going to do the hot and cold on the shower head. I just put the shower head down on the ground to so it's close to the drain so I can minimize the mess. But we're going to just go ahead and turn on both the hot and cold valves. You're going to see pink coming out there. We're good. Now we'll do this one and make sure we got okay, and we're good there. So now I'm going to go ahead and check the pressure valve. I want to make sure I've got the antifreeze running through the water heater as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and do a quick check. I'm not going to open it wide open. I just want to make sure I got pink coming through. I should see it draining out right here. Yep, we're good there. So we've got the water heater has antifreeze in it. So I'm going to go ahead and close off this valve because I've got antifreeze charged throughout the line. I'm going to go ahead and pull this and put the cap back in it. And then the last step we're going to do is just put some antifreeze in the P-traps just to make sure any water sitting in there is antifreeze as well. Just a little bit. In there just to make sure we've got some in that P-trap. And then we're going to go ahead and put some in the shower drain pan. Now it should already have some in there from when I ran it through, but we just want to make sure. Okay, so there you have it. That's pretty much the process I go through when I winterize my trailer. In terms of the quantity of antifreeze I used this time around was about 1.5 gallons. So I guess last time I probably just ran things a little bit longer just to make sure there was fluid in all the lines. This time I guess I was a little more efficient, so I used less. But overall, it's a pretty straightforward process. I closed out now all my valves, so now we're set for the winter. And when it comes to next camping season, next thing the only thing we got to do is really just flush all the lines with fresh water. And so we'll address that I guess in the spring when camping season restarts. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please post those below. I'll get to those just as quick as I can. And hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And then we'll see you next time here on Rough Riders. Thanks for watching.